Welcome to the Kofu Mama Show. Today we have an extremely special guest today. We've known each other for a very long time, and she is a executive producer of film and TV. And also, very unfortunately, she had COVID in her family. That includes a baby as well as your mother, so the baby's great-grandmother. So that's 4 generations.
Right.
Which is crazy. And you guys all live in the same house. I think COVID is a very sensitive topic, but I think everyone wants to know exactly how you deal with all this situation. So can you tell us a little bit about, just the beginning, like when you found out that you got sick?
Okay. Well, first of all, congratulations to your show, Sarah. Congratulations to you, Kung Fu Mama. And also, I'd like to greet all the fans of Sarah Chang Soberano. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah?
Thank you.
Okay. So it's been, I think, a year already. It happened August last year. So almost a year now. It happened August last year. So almost a year now.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. So it was one of the most dreadful experience. Actually, I didn't want to remember, but I've people have been calling me, people have been asking for interviews about it. And I realized that since COVID's cases in the Philippines is still rising up to now, people are still, some people I think are still, they think that, it's just a regular virus. Some people are in denial that, COVID is, it kills people. And especially now that a lot of the cases are asymptomatic, so you don't know. Unlike last year, you get warnings when people start sneezing or coughing, and you're just beside them, and you'd automatically just stay away. Or I always have a spray with me. I like bang bang bang. Yeah, I wish they can come up with guns, alcohol made of gun containers, because that's how it should be. That's how it actually prepared me to the new normal. They call it the new normal now. You always have to be equipped with all this alcohol and everything that can just disinfect whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it started in August. Actually, the pandemic started in March. We were locked down. I was sent I was sent home by my office, and they said that I couldn't go to work anymore because they needed to lock down the entire building and shut it down. So I started working from home in March, April, May, June, July. For 4 months, we were just at home. I was working, I would wake up like the normal, like usual, wake up at 8, and then I'm at work in the computer by 9. I'm off by 5 p.m. It went on. I was glad that I was still getting paid by my office and work. So it was a cool setup. It was totally a cool setup. Like, I can just pause and then take a rest for a bit. I can lie down and take a quick nap and then up again and start working again. They wouldn't know,
Yeah.
But
that's really lucky though.
Yep. And everything was like delivered from the grocery to my house. It's so accessible. Everything can be done online. So we did not need to go to the market or the grocery. Everything was just delivered to the house.
Right.
Until the 5th month in August 1st. I remember those dates. August 1st, I had my son, Mavi, and the wife was in my house that time. And my mom, surprisingly, it was just February when she decided to visit me, end of February. And then March, they announced the lockdown. So she was totally stuck with me in the house.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so Mavi's family was there because we were celebrating the birthday of one of my brothers. And it so happened that they stayed overnight, and then the lockdown was announced. So everybody was in my home. It was like a blessing, totally like a blessing that, we were all together. So my mom, Mavi's family, 4 of them were stuck in the home with me. And that time I didn't have maids because they all left for the province for a vacation because it was vacation time for them. So I was like, I had no maid and I had everybody in the house. So on August 1st, the wife of Mav asked if they can have a friend over. I think it was a godfather of my grandson. And so he said that he had some food and cake for us, for the family. So I said, go. Yeah, just tell him to drop by and just send it over. Because we were so used to that. People would, send us food over.
Right.
Until I got the cake. And then I said, hey, why don't you tell your friend to just stay and have dinner with us? Okay, so I said, it's so sweet of him to bring his food, so why not join us for dinner? So he comes in the house, we welcomed him in the house, and he even showed us a test, like a paper that says that he was COVID-free. That he was negative from COVID. So we were so happy, and then so he stayed in the house for about 3 hours. So and then they went to Mavi's studio because Mavi has a small studio in the house. That's where he does his recordings and everything. So they hanged out there. They had their AC on, and they were there for about 3 hours. And then he left. The next day, Mav got a call from him, and he said that he was in the hospital. He was in the ER.
Oh, from the same guy.
Same guy called and said that he was in the emergency room in a hospital and he has fever.
Oh my gosh.
Instantly, I said, that's it. That's COVID. Welcome. And I knew right away, Sarah. I knew right away that, we were all infected. There was no symptoms yet because it was like, first day was August 1st. Second day, he calls us. So I knew. I just felt it that we were all infected. And then on the 5th day after the visit of the guy, Mavi had the fever.
Oh no!
Automatically, he stayed in his studio, and then my mom and my daughter stayed in another room. MJ and the 2 other kids stayed in their room, and then me, Marlon, in our room. So we have 4 rooms.
Oh, wow.
We were all and then I said, nobody is allowed to go out. Everybody will just have to stay there. I will take care of your food and your medication. So I played like a frontliner. I was their nurse.
Oh my gosh.
I was like their doctor.
Gosh.
So
that's crazy.
So when everybody was in the room, so I just prayed. I said, God, I cannot afford to send all of these 8 people in the hospital. So can you guide me and convert my house into a happy home, like a hospital? Just feed me and give me the knowledge and wisdom of how to take care of them, because it doesn't say. The government doesn't tell you what to do. I don't know how the government is there in Thailand or in Taiwan. If they tell you what to do, there's nothing. You don't just tell you to stay home and be well.
Wow.
Or if you can't breathe, go to the hospital. They'll give you the oxygen. That's it. There's no medicine for COVID-19.
Right. So you had COVID in your family. In fact, everyone in your family had COVID, and you have a family of 8. Can you tell us everyone who's in your household?
Okay, there's me, Elaine, there's my husband, Marlon, and then I have a daughter. Her name's Denise. She's a special child. And then my mom got locked down with me too. And then my son's family got locked down with me in my house. So there's Mav, the wife, MJ, the daughter, Mikey, and the son, the baby, Sebastian. But Sebastian was the funniest among everybody because he was like, he had like vitamin C booster shots with him when he had COVID. He was so active. He was playing Kung Fu, watching Bruce Lee and trying to copy Bruce Lee's moves. But I said, I think kids, if they get COVID, I think they're the strongest and they'll recover right away. Because that's what happened to my grandson.
Oh, that's good to hear. What about your daughter, Denise? How was that? How was it for her? Is she like able to express like how she's feeling and like how did it affect her any differently from your other family members?
Since my daughter Denise sleeps with my mom in the other room, in the guest room, both of them were just, they're asymptomatic. So they were just having those little, like irritation from the throat. Other than that, they were fine. And she wasn't really complaining until the latter part of the experience. My mom tested. She was the only one who tested positive after the second test. So we had to isolate my mom and get my daughter away from her. And she was like confused why she had to be, separated from my mom.
I see.
So she would constantly complain and cry, and that totally broke our hearts because she couldn't understand why she had to be separated with a grandma. And even my mom at the time, she was like, I'm okay. Maybe the swab was lying. Maybe they're wrong. I feel perfectly fine. I feel strong already. But, she still tested positive. So we just had to isolate her from my daughter.
But your daughter also had to be by herself in another room?
No, she stayed with us already in my room. So my daughter Denise and my husband was staying on the bed while I was
in your tent.
Yeah.
Is it like
floors.
An outdoor tent? Like camping tent.
Camping tent in my room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This is crazy. Right.
So I sort of like researched and I read a lot of experiences of the COVID patients, and a lot of them, especially the Filipinos who got COVID, would tell you all this, would teach you the herbal stuff.
Yeah.
You know how it is in the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So I did it. I would brew the ginger tea with lemon and what else? Lemon and honey. Lemon, ginger, and honey. So I would have like a pot. I would boil a huge pot of that and would give everybody 3 times a day of the tea. And then we would steam. Everybody, each and everyone would steam with oregano leaves and thyme and salt. I was like a witch. I was totally like a witch doing voodoo.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then everybody, for every 3 hours, I would steam each and everybody.
Oh, wow.
It was so...
That's exhausting. That's exhausting.
And so the first symptom I think I had was I lost my sense of smell and taste.
Yeah.
So I didn't get the fever yet, but I lost it already. But I had to cook for everybody. So to cook their food, there was no taste, nothing. So I said, okay, I will just feel if it's going to be too salty or too, spicy.
Oh my gosh.
Because you can't really, it's totally black. No taste at all, zero.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know how that would feel. Like, even just like simple things like just the alcohol smells, right? Like even just any ambient smells, everything, like completely nothing, like baby powder, like
nothing, like zero.
And then when you taste, absolutely nothing. So it's like eating mush every day because it doesn't taste like anything.
Like even I tried to eat just to test if it was going to work. I ate chili, the red small chili. I thought it was, my tongue got numb, but I couldn't taste anything.
Oh, that must be so uncomfortable.
Super.
Eating, it's like eating mush every single day. How long did that feeling go on?
Okay, so I didn't tell anybody. I knew that I thought maybe if I was going to tell the association in our village or maybe call someone, I was just so afraid of getting, people would think that the discrimination, people would think that that's how I felt. Having COVID felt like you're so dirty, like you're so contagious, like people might not like to even see you or be with you or talk to you.
Oh my gosh.
It was so terrible, Sarah. So that was really, it was frustrating for me. And I started really feeling nervous and it's really all anxiety. And I thought of even killing myself at that moment. Yeah, because I said I would rather all of us die at the same time than just one of us. So I felt that I was the strongest among everybody because I was the one working and busy for everyone, right? Well, everybody was trying to recover from the cough and getting fever, and then it hit me, and then I had a fever. I think I got the fever August 8th or the 9th of August.
Okay, but you already had lost your sense of smell.
Yeah, that's what the first. Yeah, that was the first symptoms that I felt. And when it hit me, I started coughing, and I couldn't get up anymore. So what I'm telling you. Actually, I did a vlog about it because these are the symptoms that a COVID patient should experience or will experience. So my entire body was so painful, like pulled muscles, like maybe like doing your routine like 24/7. I don't know if you've done it before, but that's how my body felt. Like I was doing probably 1,000 sit-ups every day. So my entire body was so painful. I couldn't get up. And I started coughing. And my fever was on and off. The fever wasn't too high. It was just about 37.8 to 838. Not too high, but the body ache, the coughing, like I had like a ball of fur right here in this area. So my husband thought that maybe I needed to be, sent to the hospital already because I was having a difficult time breathing. But I said, no. No one's going to go to the hospital. I might die. I don't want to die alone because I know that when you are in the hospital and you have COVID and you get worse, your family members can't see you anymore until you're burned into ashes.
Oh my God.
That's how bad it was. So I said, if I'll die, I'm going to die here with everybody. At least, I can see you. You can talk to me. That's how difficult it is. And then a friend of mine gave me this power drink. They called it the MMS. What was it? It was a mixture of lemon and chloride. I don't know if you know chloride. So it was a drop of chloride, and lemon.
Like, isn't that bleach or?
Is it bleach, right? It is, right? I think it smells like
chloride. It's like chlorine. Oh, so it's like the Trump thing, like where you drink bleach and it should go away. Really? Oh my gosh.
I did it. So the first day I tried it, I was dripping like consuming two two like this every day. I was dripping, so I thought maybe it was the side effect of that power miracle drink. So I was dripping like, oh my God. My nose had like scratches already all over because of blowing my nose every time. And then on the second day, I started feeling better. I don't know if it was the effect of that drink or it was already time to get better. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. So lemon, like bleach, some sort of a concoction. Oh my gosh, Elaine.
I had
Oh,
to try. If you were in my shoes, you'd probably try whatever that could just make you feel better.
right.
I had that medicine from the Chinese drugstore. What's it called? It starts with the letter L. But lingua. It's called lingua. It's a medicine from the Chinese. Lingua.
I'm not sure.
So anyway,
Lingua.
they said that it works if you have COVID, but if you have hypertension, you can't take it. So I think I do. I have high blood, so I can't take it. So I didn't. It's just sitting there up to now. So I think what made me feel better is actually the drive to, my children are well already. They've recovered. My husband recovered. I should recover too. But, even in spite of my having a difficult time breathing, but I was watching them from afar because they can't come near me. I was afraid that I might infect them again. So I had to pitch a tent in my own room. Yes, I did.
Oh, wow.
I can send you photos. I had to just cover my entire space so that people don't get infected anymore.
Wow. That's
insane. It's something, I thought it was just something that you'd see in the movies. Dude, I made it. I survived it. We all did.
Congratulations.
We survived COVID, but it had, I think, an effect with my mom because my mom had the worst stroke after 2 weeks. She was still tested. She did another test and she turned out negative. But after 2 weeks, she had a really major stroke and she couldn't make it. She passed. She passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about your mom.
I think it was time. It was time. It was tough because I was taking care of her until she passed, and she was bedridden. So me and my husband would take turns carrying her to the toilet, and that entire pandemic and the COVID experience actually got us closer to each other, to me and my mom and my family, because Vince knows this. I have never been this, close to my family. Because I remember that when I started doing movies, they never see me home. I'm working 24/7, no time for family. And this entire pandemic was such a blessing. Yeah. Sorry for the others, but this entire pandemic was a blessing for me and my family. It was time for bonding. It was time for going to church, even just on Zoom. We were hearing mass. We were doing gardening and stuff. Eating together. It was so beautiful.
I totally agree. I mean, there has to be something good that comes out of all of this, right? I think the family time is priceless because you're really not allowed to go anywhere anyways. So you really do have to spend time with your family. But it's sad that you guys did spend a bulk of that time isolated in your rooms. I mean, that seems very, very interesting. So you would prepare the food and then you would here's your lunch.
Yeah. Here's your lunch.
Next door.
Don't go out until I'm gone. Because I was so afraid that we might be transmitting different variants of COVID. So until I'm gone, that's the only time they open the door and get their food. And then they bring it back and then I come to get it.
So it was really like a leave it at the door and then, grab the food. So you like social distance inside your house.
Yep.
But you guys have a one floor. You guys are in one floor though, right? Or
yeah, it was one floor.
and then so in terms of actually having remedies for COVID, everything was just sort of whatever was, whatever was available or whatever, like, people like down the pharmacy or your friends said might work.
Well, I would give them like the normal medication for colds, for cough.
Right.
They didn't take antibiotics, but it was, I think it was a lot more of those drinks that I was giving them. The steaming, the ginger tea, it would relieve
relieve the itchiness.
But at least now they came up with already guidelines of how to do it, but there's nothing really because there's no medicine. It's not as if that it's a regular cough that take this, take that,
Yeah.
But I just told everybody to treat it like a regular flu, but it's worse than a regular flu.
Right.
It's like 10 times a regular flu. But you just have to be strong most of all. You have to eat the right food. You have to hydrate a lot. You have to take the vitamin D, the sun in the morning, first thing in the morning. That's vitamin D. That's good for your lungs. So everybody would do that in the house. So we were doing it like how maybe they would do it in the caveman days. I don't know.
Yeah, because you can't really go anywhere. And then for going to the hospital or contacting anything. So in Taiwan, they have a hotline that you call and then they talk to you. I mean, I've never called it, so I don't know what exactly, but they try to keep you informed here on how, how things are going. But in the Philippines, they don't have something like that, right? A hotline or something.
They do, but I called the hotline and they said just to stay home. We're gonna send you people to take your the RT-PCR, and they did. They sent them over. Of course, we found out that we were all positive after the 7th day, and then they just leave you, and they just say, "I'll see you after 7 more days." So they think that it's just gonna, go away. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then they don't give you any medicine or any advice on how to cure it. They just take your test, be like, "Oh, you're sick.
Yeah, because
good luck."
That's it. Good luck if you make it or not, I guess. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's insane. That's so much pressure. That's so much pressure for you.
I was crying a lot, mostly when I was able to talk to a friend, because it felt like it was such a relief that I was able to share it to someone already. And that's when my friend, was calling all my other friends, and people would, start bombarding me with calls, and they're like, "Elaine, we're praying for you." I think that's when it also made me feel better after getting calls from close friends, and I was receiving a lot of prayers. That really helped a lot, boost my my morale to move on and to stay alive.
Yeah. I mean, I think the worst thing is that when you have it but you haven't told anyone. So those first couple of days were really painful for you
and painful that I couldn't even hug my husband and get comfort from him because he had it first before I did. So I didn't want to infect him again. So when you're sick, you want to be cuddled and everything's going to be fine. No, there was nothing like that. And that was the worst part of it, that you can't get a hug from any of your loved ones. So you can't hug each other.
Oh my gosh. That's, I don't even imagine how that would be. Like not being able to, just even like the sense of touch. I mean, for us now, like even actually Taiwan right now is in lockdown. So we kind of, that's actually not completely in lockdown. We're at a level 3 warning, meaning that people, we can still go out, but the restaurants are closed and a lot of establishments are closed, and then people don't go out very much. So people kind of just stay home, but it's not like mandated that you have to actually
Let's just stay home. Yeah. I think that's the normal thing to do now. Try to, be productive at home, do work from home stuff.
Do podcasts at home.
Yeah, I've been wanting to start one, but I just can't find the right, like a topic maybe. I don't know. Well, I should, Vince, right?
Yes, Vince. Elaine said she should start a podcast. I think you should start a podcast. You can talk about all sorts of things. I mean, from film and TV to cooking to... I mean, you have so many talents.
But that's what everyone's
doing. You can
doing,
take care
Sarah.
of everything. You can take care. I mean, home remedies. you had a couple home remedies too. It doesn't have to be COVID, but I mean, I think you've told me so many home remedies throughout. Our like during the filming, and we're just so close in the Philippines, so there's just so many things like, oh, cold, oh, you should do this, and da-da-da. I'm like, okay. I always listen to you. You always have a bunch of different remedies.
So much, actually. I was telling, I hooked up with my aunt from LA, and first time I've talked to her after like 40 years, maybe. She's the sister of my father. And she said, Elaine, there's so many things. You should start writing a book. Your life is like, different chapters, and it's so beautiful. You should. I will someday. You'll be my first guest, Sarah.
Yay! I would love to. I'll get ready for that. That's so crazy. But how is it like now? I mean, the pandemic, lockdown since March, but I mean, Philippines has been in and out of lockdown up until today, right?
Until today. I mean, we still have 7,000 cases today. So every day is like that, 6,000, 7,000 cases. And, I think because of that, how we are equipped every time we go out, we were always with a mask and a shield and with alcohol. I mean, it became so natural right now. Anybody who goes out of the house would have to be equipped that way. So I think it's just a matter of, thinking that COVID is just out there. So you just have to protect yourself every time you go out.
Does everyone abide by those, those protocols? Do you see everyone else doing it too now? Or is there people still in denial?
Yeah. Some people are still, hard-headed, and they just don't care. That's so sad. That's what's sad about it, because maybe 80% of Filipinos are trying their best to follow the protocols. And the 20% who are so hard-headed, they're the ones actually spreading the virus more. Right. So that's what's frustrating about it. I really don't know how to address that. If the government has been trying their best to address whatever, but they just don't follow.
Yeah. I mean, it's really all or nothing. It's really all or nothing. Because for us, we were pretty much 0 cases every day, 0 local cases until literally like 5 days ago.
Really?
Yeah. We've had before, was it 5 days ago? About 5 days ago. I think we've had a total of maybe like 800 or 900 cases local. But that was like in the beginning, we had a couple. And then we stayed 0 for a long time. And then throughout the months, maybe there'd be 1 or 2. And they figure out what happened, and then they contain it and then continue on. But this last time, about 5 days ago, I think it was an airline pilot that came in, and he basically went around Taiwan and affected a bunch of people. And then there was another guy who's, I'm guessing this is the one super spreader that really made it. I've never seen anyone's schedule so full. They pretty much, what they do is they tell you where this person has been. So
Yeah.
if you had been to this place at the same time as the person who was infected, then you call in to the government, or they'll take care of it, and then they'll contact trace you and see,
Yeah.
oh, where have you been, right? So this one guy, he just had I think he was asymptomatic, and he had it for a couple of days, and he was going around for maybe 5 days. But his schedule was so full. Like, he had been to 8 places in a day each day.
Oh my God.
And yeah, since then it's just been, right now we're about 200 to 300 new cases per day. But that's just been for the last the last 5 days.
But at least, the government, it's so easy to access the announcement of your government. But here, I don't know, sometimes you just hear it from Facebook or from social media, and they don't really say.
Yeah, they're very, very clear about what happened. They have they have a hearing every single day, and they'll talk about what's going on in the pandemic, how many cases happened today, and they'll it's kind of like an investigation, basically. Oh, so this person went here and then here, and then it'll form a cluster. So they'll call each case has a number. So they'll say number 1,000, case number 1,000. He was
that's how we were in the
place.
beginning.
And then, he went where, and then so this cluster is contained or not contained, and then
that's how we were in the beginning, and then it went out of hand, because right now we already have 1 million. There's been already 1 million COVID cases in the Philippines. So.
What do you see is do you see anything as a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you see any way that, for me, I'm not really sure how Philippines will be able to, what's the next step? Yeah, what's the next step? How to recover? Do you have any ideas about it?
They have, they discovered this medicine that they give to dogs.
Oh,
it's called ivermectin. Ivermectin. It's called ivermectin, but they give it. But I think they were able to formulate something now for humans. But it used to be, it is until now, it's a medication for dogs to deworm dogs, and then now, and now they already formulated a capsule that person can take it, and they say that it's a cure for COVID. So a lot of Filipinos now are taking that, and you know what? For a while, the government was saying not to take it because you might kill yourself or it's not good for a person. But people are getting well. People are actually recovering from COVID. And some are even, taking it to prevent COVID.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. So is it medically proven, or is it still sort of something that's, been heard down the grapevine?
I think they are still studying it. But a lot of people I know now are selling it even online.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it can cure. Or some say that, you just have a bottle of gin in your house every day, it's going to kill COVID. If alcohol can kill the virus on the air, maybe alcohol can also kill whatever's in your throat. So drink gin.
Oh my gosh. It's very interesting that this has been going on for so long. I mean, but at the same time, it's still this kind of a remedy that we're talking about, things that are more grassroots, things that are herbal remedies, or things that are around your house and not something concrete that people can actually go to.
Yeah, I know.
Which I guess is why, why we're still dealing with the pandemic. What about vaccinations? Is Philippines getting vaccinated? Are they available? What kind of vaccinations are they?
Yeah, it's readily available now. I got my 2 doses already.
Okay.
And my husband and my daughter, Matt, my son, is connected with GMA Network now, and the network has already scheduled him and his family to get the vaccination too. So it's free. It's readily available in all the municipalities. So I think that's good.
Good. What brand are you guys
They're
taking?
different. There's Sinovac. There's Astra.
Zeneca.
Something. And there's the Pfizer.
Oh, okay.
Pfizer. So it's here already.
Oh, good. So then a lot of people are getting vaccinated, but the numbers are still going up, or it's does everyone urge you to get vaccinated? I mean, it's free, so then that's a good sign.
But there's some died of it. Some died of getting the vaccination. Maybe they had like complications. Maybe I think because when I was a child, I know that you're not supposed to get vaccinated, like for measles or chickenpox, if you have an existing illness like a cold or a cough. So you're not supposed to take it because your body has antibodies, right? So if you have a cold and your antibodies will, start to defeat that particular illness of yours.
Right.
And then once you get the vaccination and you have this illness, so your antibodies don't know which one to prioritize now. So I think that's when the problem starts to happen. Mm-hmm. So that's why they have to be very clear about it, that you're not supposed to take the vaccination if you have an existing illness, like a cold or a cough or fever or any symptoms of COVID, because then you're going to get complications.
I see. But you guys, you guys feel so. But you still wear a mask and do alcohol when you're outside anyways.
Totally. I feel unsafe without it now. I feel so insecure without the mask, even if it's uncomfortable. That you're always sweating because it's really hot here in the Philippines. But
yes,
it's normal now to wear masks. So you just have to keep with it. Keep up with It's better be safe than sorry.
I totally agree with you. I'm surprised that in the States that they have this whole new campaign about you got your vaccine, now you can go around without a mask. I don't understand how that makes any sense. I don't understand how that makes any sense. You have the antibodies to fight the disease. That doesn't mean that you can't get it again. Yeah. Isn't that correct? I'm not sure. Yep. We're not doctors, but it doesn't seem safe.
I think same with measles or chickenpox. You can get it again. I got measles 3 times, but I got the vaccination. I even got booster shots of measles, but I still got it, right? So you just have to protect yourself. Love yourself, protect yourself. That's my motto now.
Yeah. I mean, this is so important. And also, it's also something about being a part of the greater good. COVID is all about being a part of the greater good. If you're not in the program, everyone gets affected. I mean, it's same. If Philippines isn't under control, then Taiwan will never be under control either, because sooner or later, if people are going to travel here, right? If the U.S. is not under control, everyone else in the world is still not under control. So everyone in the world has to do their part, or else we're never going to get through this.
Yeah. So even in productions, because I had to work, or I had to start working already. So I got in 3 production shoots, and they were very strict. We had a safety officer on the set who would really literally hey, we get reprimanded by just doing the small chats when we're on the set. And he was very strict. So we all had masks, we had a shield, and he would constantly have his alcohol spraying everybody's hands, like that. And that's why I was saying that this pandemic is doing us actually really good, especially for production, because now they're very strict with the time. Now you're only allowed to work 12 hours a day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And it's so actually I like it now better. And we disinfect the accommodations and the locations before and after the shoot, or before and after they go back to their accommodation.
Right.
You feel safe that your room is disinfected. Yeah.
That's amazing. And then what about so they still do testing?
Yes,
I heard it
now.
was every how often?
It's 3 days. 3 days before a lock-in shoot, and then 3 days before wrap. You have to get it again, because once you get positive before the wrap, then all of you have to stay for another 2 weeks locked in the hospital. That's why it's very expensive now to make a movie, especially in the Philippines, because it's production's responsibility to make sure that everyone's tested before and after the shoot. You disinfect all the locations before and after the shoot. So it's all that. So it's like additional 1 million pesos, I guess, for each project.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for any budget. So if your budget was originally $1 million, let's say you're let's say it's a short film. You had $1 million, then you got to add another $1 million to it. So it doesn't matter if it was like a 50 million project. It's you still got to add.
Otherwise they won't even allow you, because they've been very strict now. They ask already. They have roving safety officers who finds out if there's a shoot anywhere, and they check on you.
Right.
They check your production if you have all of this. If you've read the guidelines, you have all the protocols. Are you equipped with in case someone is positive in your set? Do you know what to do? Where are you going to isolate them? So they're really very strict now. Unless you know all of this, then you will not allowed to get in production.
So can you run down some of the rules, like a typical day, if I'm gonna go, so I'm gonna go to the Philippines to shoot a movie. I do I have to first give you a COVID test? I have to first produce or do I have to produce a vaccination record, or do they need you to have a vaccination as well now?
Well, usually production would take care of it, but I think now I think the producers are already complaining, because it's getting really expensive to every time that the actor would go in and out of the set. You would have to do that test. And it's not really cheap. It's like 1,000 pesos every time. And how many people are on the set?
Right.
They're about minimum of, for a small production, maybe 25, 30 people. But that's still 30,000 pesos every time.
Yeah. Is there a limit to the number of people on set now?
Well, maximum, regardless if it's a big movie or a small movie, 50 packs.
Wow.
50 people on the set. Yeah.
So 50 people on the set, and then everybody except for the actors have PPEs, or do they have to wear their?
Well, they're not really strict with the PPEs, as long as there's social distancing, and it's your responsibility now as as a production crew to at least change your shirt. To change your shirt, every so often.
Oh, to change your shirt.
Yeah. And then they just spray you with alcohol every time.
So it's like, oh, time. Everybody, change your shirt. Oh, that's interesting. So instead of even just having PPEs, you just change your clothes. That could work too.
Because it's a super tight set. Nobody is allowed to get in and out of the set. Once you're locked in a location, only one person is allowed to, if you need some stuff to be, hey, Callie.
Callie's here.
Callie?
Yeah, it is. Come here. Okay. So what are your upcoming projects for film then? With all the COVID protocols in place, film and TV.
Hey, I am very, very excited because I actually wrote a letter to the Department of Foreign Affairs, because I have a director and a producer coming in from Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're very strict. So you need a visa already to come to the Philippines. Do you know that?
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
everywhere. If you're coming from everywhere, if you're coming, especially for American citizen or whatever, the Philippines is now requiring for a visa for you to enter.
Oh, okay.
But you're not allowed if you're a foreigner national. You need to secure a proper visa, like they call it a 9A visa. And you need to write a letter why you want to come to the Philippines. They're very strict now. So, yeah, so that's in the process now. I'm going to do a movie. It's an international film, but shot in the Philippines, totally shot in the Philippines. We're casting a lot of Filipino actors. And we should start doing that by August. I think August or maybe mid-August. And then I got also another great news. GMA Network is hiring me back to be their executive producer. So
wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I just signed up with them 2 weeks ago. I'm really excited because they're giving me 2 projects now with GMA. But still, I'm not really, crazy about this entire system now that's working from home, because you know how it is when you're like face to face with your staff and your actors. It's so hard to be constantly on the Zoom. But I'm looking forward because we're going to be starting by next month, taping already.
Wow, wait. I just realized you guys are still in working at home mode.
Yes, totally working at home.
Oh, but did you get to meet so for GMA, you have a new job with them, but you got it through Zoom, or you actually had to meet them?
No, everything was online. So I had to secure all documents because they're very strict with the documents. So I had to get my records from school. I had to get medical. So I had to go to the hospital, of course. They have this clinic that they needed to check me up, and yeah, all the process and my BIR.
Oh my gosh.
My taxes, I had to fix everything. So yeah, I did it in a month, and then now they hired me already. So
oh my gosh, that's amazing. But that's also just very the new normal, right?
Yeah. And then they gave me that Zoom link for the interview. So we just stayed on for like 5 minutes, and then, okay, Elaine, we're excited. You're hired. Oh, okay. Welcome. Just so fast and easy. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, I'm really excited for you and your upcoming projects, and had an amazing time catching up with you. So thank you so much for letting us know all your, I guess it's quite a personal experience with COVID, and we're all in this together. So I hope that Philippines,
I hope I was able to, impart something to your viewers, how to be safe and how to keep safe. And if it happens to you and your family, make sure that, you follow and watch my vlog. I vlogged about it. You can type ECL Productions, and then you're going to see my face there, all small letters. And then it's about my experience with COVID. Mm-hmm. I was still positive when I did that video. And then I had a follow-up video. It's about the symptoms and the remedies of getting COVID. So I hope that will be helpful for everyone.
I think it definitely will be. So thank you so much for sharing that. And make sure you guys check out Elaine's vlog. Okay, thank you so much. I will see you next time.
Bye-bye. Love you all. Bye-bye.